This is EMA Barbs Health Corner. I am so glad that you came into this class today. As you can see, we're in a different location, and which is fine. And I'm all so grateful to the Most High for what He's doing and what He's done. He continues to do great and mighty things on our behalf, and for that we are made glad. So today I'm not going to be with you long. I'm just going to share with you a few things about some of the young people have asked me, some of the babies have asked me some questions about inflammation and congestion during this time. But I want to shout out to my babies in Ohio, Toledo, Ohio. My babies in Tennessee, Texas, Alabama, Shalom, Alabama. Like we said, we're not going to be with you very long, but I want to answer a couple questions for you today. Some things about, you had asked about congestion and inflammation during this time. We're going to be doing a little bit of segments, about 10, 20 minutes, around about different things that are going on with our bodies. Now remember, family, the inflammation, it only comes when it's the body saying, remember we said that we're going to, when the body talks to us, well, our bodies talk to us, of course. And what's going to begin to happen is when your body tells you, look, there's pain, there's inflammation, there's this. I think you need to pay attention to this before it gets any further. That's when our bodies are talking to us about certain things. So today we're going to talk about things such as inflammation and congestion during this time of what they call the seasonal allergies. So with seasonal allergies, fam, there's some things you might want to look into for inflammation and congestion. These are some herbs that I would recommend for seasonal allergies. Now, for seasonal allergies this time, I'm going to talk to you about things like elderberry. Yes, you say, Ema, elderberries? Yes, elderberries, fam. The elders. The elderberry is good for congestion and inflammation. Now you all know ginger. Our ginger. Ginger is good for inflammation and congestion because he breaks down all of that, and all that's things that say, oh, it's trying to attack our body, and the ginger goes immediately there to help and serve you. Remember, the Father said the leaves of the fields are good for the healing of the nations. And these are some things that He wants you to be aware of. That ginger that He put out there for you. Some people say, what about mullein? Ema, I use mullein. Yes, mullein is one of those things that is very, very good for you during this time because it takes the inflammation away, and it works for congestion. So those are some things you might want to make a list of. And as you can see, I'm talking kind of fast because I want to make sure I get in so much in for you today. So mullein is one of those wonderful things that are out there for you. The mullein leaves. Did you know plantains are wonderful? That is good for the body. You can eat plantains, or some people in certain countries, they use plantain leaves, which is very good. And it's good for congestion and inflammation in the body. So that inflammation has to go, because when the inflammation comes, you know there's pain and there's stiffness in the bodies. And so that's another one of the roots that the Father, leaves of the field, that the Father's used for our bodies. So another thing we want to make sure of that we have is something called, now you say, Ema, are you drinking tea today? Yes, love, I'm drinking my time tea. We're having time today, and we're going to pour it in here, and we're going to enjoy. Now enjoy your time tea and write down all this good information that we have today, because this time tea is kicking, baby. My baby said, I hope I'm using the right term, kicking. But it's rocking today for us, that time tea. Taking a sip today, and it's already steeped, and it's ready to go. But that time tea is one of those things that you might want to make sure that you have it in your system. That time tea will fight for you. Now, some people said, Ema, I heard something about hyssop. The scripture says that cleanse my mouth with hyssop And yes, hyssop is found in the scriptures. I don't have to buy it here today to tell me exactly where it is, but I'll find it for you and I'll put it on the chat. Remember, if you like this, go to EMA Barbs Health Corner at gmail.com and you can give me your comments and tell me what you're feeling. Because today it's not live, unfortunately, I'm sorry. But tell me what you think. Give me your feedback. Give me a thumbs up if you like this way, this type of format that has started for you already. And my babies, you all know the drill. Just hook the mama up because I love you too much. Anyway, let's finish on. So things like what we want to talk about, and there's another thing I want to introduce to some that some may know this and some may not, and it's called slippery elm. Slippery elm is one of those type of herbs it's like a mucilage if once you fix it, prepare it properly. Slippery elm would go through and it coats the congestion in the body. It coats the throat. It does wonderful things for you, and I'll have some recipes coming up for you so you can check out the slippery elm. Another thing is what we use during the time of inflammation, and it's called marshmallow root. Marshmallow, or you can get the marshmallow leaves. The marshmallow leaves are really, really soft. You do put them over hot water when you get the leaves, and what you can do is let it set for about until it cools down, but pour over hot water, or normally I wouldn't say use boiling water, but over very hot water almost till it boils, and then let it set until it cools down a little bit, and then add your honey. Now during this time, you know that honey is very good for you because it is one of those fighting agents, but make sure you have your honey in your area. From that, put your honey in there and allow that marshmallow root to just coat all the congestion that's coming out and push it out. That's what you want, to be able to push those toxins out and help your body. Some herbs that I'm kind of cautious, but here's some things. And remember, here at EMA Barb's Health Corner, we give you alternatives. We let you know what's out there, what's available out there, some homeopathic parts that help with your body, to heal your body and keep it from screaming. Like one of my babies in Ohio says, take down the rage out of the body, or out the hair, or out of the out of the bones and marrows that are giving you pain. So these are some things we want to make sure that you are aware of, instead of, because we also know that sometimes the drugs are so harsh on the body and all the after effects that does to the body. So we're just giving you some alternative ways of making sure that you're bringing healing, health, wholeness to your body. Some other things we want to talk about, and it's called OSHA, 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 and it's OSHA roots. Now that you want to be very careful. You only need a very little bit of it to start with, and it gets rid of the inflammation in the body. It's OSHA roots, and what it will do is help with the inflammation. If you're allergic to ragweed and things like that, you want to be very cautious with that. But you need very little of it. Put it in hot water, let it set, and you would do as follow. Some people don't use sweeteners. I understand that. They use just regular herbs, which are very, very good for the body. So here we are. Let's go over this one more time. We use elder. Now there's something called L-Campe, E-L-C-A-M-P-E. Some pronounce it L-Campe, but it's L-Campe. And it's one of those healing herbs that's good for, takes away inflammation during this time of the season, out of the sinuses, and it gets congestion and that type. But if you are allergic, let me say this to you. Let me prelay this for this. If you have ragweed pollen or allergies to that, you might want to be very watchful on these type of plants. It's the ones that I really use more so than always are like ginger, Turmeric is good for inflammation during this time. Thyme is good because it's always one of those that always is there. Uh, um, just slippery elm is one of those that I fall upon, and elderberry is one of the ones that I fall heavily on. So these are just some few things that I'm just letting you know that they're out there and they're available for the body. Let me say this: when you do the ginger, you want to do the ginger root. You can do it either way that you prefer, but I think I would do the ginger root. The reason why, the powder and all of that, I know what I'm getting, so I can do what I need to do, get done with that. So I know what I get, and then I can peel it with the a spoon. Then after I peel it with a spoon, then I cut it and let it boil at a certain pace at a certain time, and then go from there. Also, another thing that we don't really realize, that is actually a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful root, and it actually is a root. We call it an herb, but it's a root, and it's called an onion. An onion. An onion is so wonderful. So, fam, do this. Try these different things. These are good for, remember, inflammation and congestion during this time of the allergy season, and it will carry you on throughout. So if you have any issues with allergies or with inflammation and congestion, these are some easy things you can give it to your children without any adverse effects. I really love you. And for the immune system, you know that you can do echinacea, but be very careful with echinacea during this time. You can't do it for a very long period of time. But the elderberry root, the elderberries, it rocks. So this is your EMA saying, I love you, and I thank the Father for you. Thank you for tuning in. And I look forward to you coming into the class again. We're going to be doing very different other sites from time to time. But whenever you see this, that bell that rings, Tobias told me when the bell rings, then you know I'm on. You know how that works. But I love you. I pray Psalms 91 all around about you as about a shield. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. And one last thing, they're homeopathics, and we're going to talk about that in the next class, about the homeopathic things that are out there for you to use. They're called holistic homeopathic remedies that you can use also when it gets to a certain point. Don't forget your B6, your B complexes. They do work during this time of inflammation and congestion. This is your email Barbs saying, I love you. Psalms 91 all around about you as about a shield. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. And the Most High consumes you with his presence and with his word. His spirit is real. Blessings, family.